Good evening, YouTube, and welcome to the Piper Report. Hillary Clinton is at it again. Now she is blaming Bernie Sanders for her loss. So let's see if we can remember everything she said. Initially, she blamed sexism and misogyny. And then she blamed racism. That is the uprising of white racism and the KKK supporting Donald Trump. Then she blamed James Comey. Then she went back to blame misogyny, and I know there's a couple more I'm forgetting, and they're probably going to pop up in my head during this article, but now she is blaming Bernie Sanders. People think Donald Trump is a narcissist. I think this is a clear definition of what narcissism is all about. Not taking blame for your actions. Saying or thinking that you did nothing wrong. That it was other people who ruined things for you. This is how 5-year-olds act, that don't take responsibility for their own actions. When something bad happens to them, they automatically have to blame other people. They automatically have to help redefine and support their ego that they did nothing wrong because they are perfect specimens. And Hillary Clinton, she just can't help herself. And just wait for the backlash from Bernie Sanders supporters that she is going to receive. It's going to be pretty bad. But here's the article. Making the rounds on social media Tuesday morning was a passage from Hillary Clinton's forthcoming book that was tweeted out by a liberal journalist in possession of a coveted early copy. Wow, that is actually, that's kind of a low blow, but hey, I'm not complaining. In one of the page excerpt, Clinton blasts Senator Bernie Sanders for inflicting lasting damage on her candidacy and her reputation. Okay. I'm not a fan of Bernie Sanders, but you cannot blame Bernie Sanders for your bad public image. You just can't. Bernie Sanders didn't make you break the law by having an illegal server, an illegal email account in your house. Bernie Sanders didn't make you and your staff corrupt. You did this, Hillary Clinton. You broke the law. You violated federal regulations, not Bernie. So you're saying that Bernie should not have called you on your crimes? Then what kind of candidate would he be? You should be thankful that Bernie actually sold out and actually supported you in the end. I'm surprised he did. You work with the corporate media. You work with Debbie Wasserman Schultz and members of the DNC to make sure that it was you that was nominated as the DNC person for president. You were the DNC presidential candidate. You colluded with them, and you're trying to blame Bernie Sanders. Really? Clinton's contention appears to be that Sanders, who she claims entered the primary only to disrupt the Democratic Party, prioritized those efforts over beating the GOP. His attacks caused lasting damage, she wrote, making it harder to unify progressives in the general election and paving the way for Trump's crooked Hillary campaign. Okay, first off, Hillary Clinton, you are not a progressive. You are all over the place. Your political affiliation aligns with whoever you are currently speaking to. So when you're talking to Wall Street banks, you are for Wall Street banks. When you're talking to Bernie Sanders supporters, you are against Wall Street banks and you are progressive. You are constantly changing and flip-flopping your own affiliation, your own policies to what best suits you. You have even been caught on camera changing accents when you go to different states to do different rallies. Seriously, you can look this up. It's like, wow, Hillary, wow. Well, I like how she says Trump's crooked Hillary campaign. Maxine Waters blamed that on Putin. She said that Putin is one that gave Trump that idea to call her crooked Hillary, so that's kind of interesting. In public reflections on her defeat, Clinton has routinely drawn headlines for pointing to external forces, sexism, oh yeah, I forgot about Russia. How could I forget about Russia? Sexism, Russia, James Comey, misogyny, don't forget that, racism. God, I forgot about Russia. That's like the biggest one. My bad. Rather than her own faults. The passage released Tuesday further confirms the former Secretary of State's book will likely be one long attempt to lay blame for her defeat at the feet of actors outside her campaign. By her assessment, of course, it's Sanders' fault that crooked Hillary narrative was resonating. But the stretch of corruption can hardly be attributed to Sanders, as it has trailed the Clintons throughout their political careers. Peter Schweitzer's best-selling Clinton Cash was released to strong reviews just as a DNC primary kicked into gear, laying out a pattern of behavior at the Clinton Foundation that Harvard law professor Lawrence Lessig said, on any fair reading, constituted corruption. You know, it's not just that either. It's that Clinton Cash was bad, but WikiLeaks also disseminated proof that the Clintons they did believe in a pay-for-play quid pro quo scenario. One of my earlier videos was going over WikiLeaks article, and in it, it's called New WikiLeaks Revelations Proves Clinton Quid Pro Quo. So if you want to search that, you should be able to find it. But it goes over basically how Hillary Clinton met with, I think it was someone in Saudi Arabia, after he paid money for it. After he had to pay Uma Abedin money, then she was willing to see him. So the crime and the corruption and just the overall poorly ran campaign and the lies and the deceit, that was all Hillary Clinton. Nobody else. That was her and her lies and her husband, who is a rapist, and all of these things. And you cannot keep casting blame onto others, Hillary. It is time for you to act like you're older than 6 years old. It's time for you to take responsibility for yourself and not blame everything on other people, because it only makes you look immature and only negative reflects on your own self-image and allows everyone to view you as what you truly are, which is a narcissistic old hag. And I'm done.